After losing my daughter, I discovered a $35 million inheritance her abandoned father wants his share. Lisa stood frozen outside the diner, the roar of the busy street muted by an overwhelming ache in her chest. Just weeks ago, she was a single mother. Her bright-eyed daughter Lily was her world, the sunshine on even the cloudiest days. Now, there was just a hollow space, filled only with echoes of laughter and love lost. The community wrapped its arms around her, offering whispered condolences and a never-ending stream of casseroles, but none of it could fill the void. Nobody could bring Lily back. With every sympathy card she opened, with every meal dropped off on her doorstep, Lisa felt both comforted and trapped. They meant well, these gestures, but they also served as constant reminders of her heartache. This was her life now, surrounded by kindness yet suffocated by grief. One evening, while sorting through papers left behind by her late mother, Lisa stumbled upon a letter that changed everything. A distant grandfather had passed away, leaving behind a staggering inheritance: $35 million. A legacy meant for her daughter. Confusion mixed with a flicker of hope. Could Lily have had a future filled with possibilities this windfall could ensure? It felt cruel, like a joke life was playing, mocking her loss. But the stakes grew higher when the doorbell rang, and in walked the man who had vanished from their lives years ago, Lily's biological father. He stood there, his face a twisted blend of remorse and expectation, saying he wanted his fair share. The very person who'd abandoned them now had the audacity to come back, claiming a right to the wealth meant for Lily's future. Anger flared within Lisa, a blaze fueled by the memories of nights spent worrying alone while he gallivanted off without a care. How could he just waltz back into their lives? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue setting her jaw. Lisa gazed at the man who had shattered her family. Would Lily have advocated for understanding and forgiveness? Or would she have stood by her mother, angry at the man who failed them? As she prepared to confront him, hearts raced in the small town, rumors swirling like leaves caught in a windstorm. Everyone had an opinion. Neighbors murmured, the diner buzzed with gossip, and Lisa felt the weight of their judgment pressing down on her. Torn between the desire for retribution and the flicker of compassion her daughter embodied, she teetered on the edge of an emotional precipice. What would be the right decision? Just as she gathered her resolve, she found an unexpected envelope tucked away in a corner of the envelope pile, revealing shocking details about her grandfather's past and conditions tied to the inheritance. Questions swirled like tornadoes in her mind. How deep did her family's roots go? And what hidden truths awaited her? With her daughter's legacy hanging in the balance and the specter of the father who abandoned them haunting her, she knew one thing: this confrontation could redefine everything. Would she find clarity amid the chaos, or would it all descend into darkness? She gripped the envelope tighter, heart pounding, knowing that her next steps would change everything for better or worse. Lisa's heart raced as she held the envelope. The weight of it felt heavier than just paper. It was a symbol of Lily's lost future. Her mind swirled with dark thoughts as she tried to piece together the implications of what she had found. She glanced up towards the man standing in her living room, still waiting for her response. "What do you want?" she demanded, her voice trembling yet firm. The anger bubbling inside her made it hard to keep her tone steady. He shifted uncomfortably, hands shoved into his pockets. "I just want what's fair. I'm Lily's father. I have rights." "We both know what you did," she shot back. "You vanished when we needed you the most. Now, you think you can come back and claim a piece of her inheritance? It doesn't work like that." He opened his mouth to argue but faltered. The hurt in his eyes was unmistakable, but Lisa didn't want to feel pity for him. She couldn't. Not after everything. A deep breath filled her lungs, but it couldn't extinguish the fire igniting her thoughts. Her body shook slightly, her mind racing with visions of all the times he wasn't their school plays, scraped knees, bedtime stories. This money was meant for my daughter, she continued, barely holding back tears. I'll make sure it goes to her dreams, whatever they could have been. Not to you. I know I messed up, he said, his voice low and strained. I can't change that, but I want to be part of this, somehow. I just need a chance to be a better father. Please. His confession hung in the air like a heavy fog. Part of Lisa wanted to hurl his words back at him, but another part felt that flicker of compassion she often struggled with. Hadn't Lily always believed in giving people second chances? Yet, was a second chance worth the risk? She felt the weight of the decision pressing heavily on her chest. Was it right to forgive someone who hadn't earned it? The thought made her stomach twist. Her eyes fell back onto the envelope, its corners frayed, hinting at secrets that could bind or break her future. Listen, she said, her voice softer but resolute. I don't know you. I don't know if I can trust you. It's not just about you, it's about Lily, what she would have wanted. Maybe you should find out what she wanted. Before deciding anything, he urged, a new determination in his voice. We could explore those details together. There might be more to this inheritance than we both realize. His suggestion was a lifeline thrown into turbulent waters, a glimmer of something that could lead to clarity. A part of her wanted to dismiss him entirely, but the other, the one that needed to uncover the truth, felt a flicker of curiosity. All at once, a thought struck her, perhaps the letter held more than the conditions of the inheritance. Had her grandfather hidden secrets tangled in the family tree, connections that could change everything she believed about love and loss? You want to work together? She asked cautiously. After everything that has happened? Maybe, he said, meeting her gaze without flinching. If it means honoring Lily, then yes. With a reluctant nod, Lisa felt the grounding weight of her decision settle and the first step toward unraveling a web of family history tinged with loss, hope, and unanswered questions. What if this journey could reveal the truth about Lily's lineage? What if it forged a path toward healing and understanding? Clutching the envelope closer, she knew there was no turning back now. As hope and turmoil coiled together in her heart, one question loomed. Were they truly ready to uncover the secrets of the past, or were they inviting more heartbreak into their lives? Lisa swallowed hard, her throat dry as dust. The man before her had once been a shadow, just a vague memory of a father figure who chose absence over presence. Now, he loomed large, bringing with him the weight of lost time and tangled emotions. So, what's the plan? She asked, crossing her arms tightly over her chest. The envelope felt like a hot coal, pressing against her skin as she fought to keep her composure. We just dig into whatever memories she left behind and hope it leads us to what? Forgiveness? Closure? A way to play happy family? I don't expect that, he replied, lowering his voice. But maybe we start by finding out what she wanted, really wanted. Before he hesitated, and for a fleeting moment, his facade cracked open to reveal a deep, raw ache. Before she was gone. Lisa met his gaze, searching for sincerity. Could he really mean it? Or was this just another attempt to manipulate her? Fine, she said at last, steeling herself for what was to come. Let us see what's in that letter. If it leads back to her. The silence that followed weighed down upon them like thick fog, obscuring the reality of what they were diving into. As she opened the envelope, trembling fingers revealed a single piece of paper, yellowed with age. The scent of dust and memories wafted out, filling the air with a bittersweet nostalgia. Lily talked a lot about her grandfather, she murmured, scanning the letter. She said he was strict but loved her like no one else could. Your father? He asked, tilting his head slightly. The question hung between them, heavy with the implications of family ties. Yeah, but it's not just about him, she said, staring at the letter as if it might spring to life. It's what he might have hidden. Maybe it holds the key to understanding why he made the choices he did. Unfolding the paper further, Lisa saw the elegant handwriting filling each line a swirl of thoughts and feelings she had never known. Inviting her into a world of dreams and hopes, Lily's voice echoed through the pages. Dear Lisa, if you're reading this, it means I'm no longer here. The word struck like a jolt of electricity. She felt the tears stinging her eyes. I always believed in destiny, Lisa read aloud, her voice trembling. I cherished every moment with you and wished to travel the world. But then there's something I need to tell you. What is it? He edged closer, both curiosity and concern flickering on his face. Lisa glanced up, the letter momentarily forgotten. This could change everything. If Lily had a secret, if there's something we didn't know, the uncertainty loomed over them, an invisible wall that needed to be breached. Could they truly work together, or was the past too heavy a burden? Lisa weathered the tempest of emotions crashing inside her, hope that Lily had left behind a legacy worth fighting for, dashed against anger at the man who had abandoned her. Look, no matter what this says, my priority is Lily's memory. I need to protect it, Lisa said firmly, a warning not just to him but also to herself. I want to honor her, to honor you, he replied, sincerity cutting through his voice. We just need to be honest. With the letter still cradled in her hands, Lisa took a deep breath, readying herself for whatever came next. Confidence surged within her, this was just the beginning. They had opened a door neither could close anymore. What lies would they unravel as they carefully peeled back the layers of the past? And more importantly, what truths would they find hidden amidst the shadows? The atmosphere shifted, intensifying as Lisa felt the burden of the words in her hands. Each sentence pulsed with the weight of unspoken truths. Lily's secret, Lisa breathed, still staring at the letter. She could almost hear her sister's laughter, feel the warmth of fleeting memories. What could it be? You have to read it, he urged. His voice was soft but insistent, as if he too held a fragile hope in his grasp. Lisa nodded hesitantly, diving back into the letter. I wanted you to know, Lisa, that life is too short to hold on to regrets, she read. I've made some choices that might not make sense right now, but they were for you. What does she mean by that? He asked, leaning in, his eyes scanning her face for answers. I don't know, Lisa admitted, the tight knot in her chest twisting. It's almost like she was preparing me for something big. She let the letter slide from her fingers to the table, spreading the pages like an opened book of revelations. There's more, she said, sifting through the fragile paper as her heart raced. She wrote about dreams we never achieved together. He nodded, his gaze fixed on the letter. I wonder if she felt lost, or trapped. Maybe she thought she had to choose between us. She never had to choose. Lisa shot back, the sudden anger bubbling to the surface. She was everything to me. And you left. The sharpness of her outburst hung like a cord in the air, a tense reminder of their past. But instead of retreating, he stepped closer, eyes pleading. I know I messed up. I know I can't change that, he said quietly. But this is about Lily. Can we focus on her, on understanding her? A pause settled between them, their shared grief palpable. Lisa's heart softened, even if just a fraction. Perhaps the truth in the letter might pave the way to healing. Okay, she relented, glancing back down. I'll keep reading. There's this part, Lisa read on, her voice steadying. I wish I could tell you the truth, the whole truth. There's a reason for everything that's happened. And one day, I hope you'll forgive me. That sounds ominous, he murmured, a frown creeping across his face. Do you think she was protecting someone? Lisa chewed her lip, feeling the tears well in her eyes again. I don't know what she meant. But if there's something she was hiding, it could change everything. The more she read, the more questions unfurled. Why hadn't Lily told her these things in person? What had been too painful to share? She reached the bottom of the page, her breath hitching as she saw the final line. Find the key in the music, Lisa. It will lead you to the answers. What does that mean? He asked, confusion lining his features. I don't know, she admitted, her mind racing as she tried to piece together the fragments. Music? What had she missed? But it has to mean something significant. She loved to play the piano. What if there's something hidden in her old notes? Maybe we need to go back to her place, Lisa said, her heart pounding. Before Mom sold her piano. The urgency was electric. They both understood the stakes. What if the key to their past, Lily's truth, was indeed tucked away within those familiar walls? Let us get moving, then, he said, determination sparking in his eyes. As they headed toward the door, a mixture of fear and excitement coursed through Lisa. Would they unravel the secrets that haunted them? Or would the shadows deepen, casting an even darker pall over their hearts? The only way to find out was to uncover what lay ahead. They stepped into the unknown, each stride a leap toward the truth, but the question lingered: what if the truth was deeper, darker, and more shocking than either of them could ever imagine? The drive to Lily's apartment felt almost surreal. The familiar streets were etched in Lisa's mind, yet they felt foreign as her heart raced with the weight of the letter. Next to her, he was quiet, his concentration focused on the road, the tension thick between them. What if we don't find anything? He said suddenly, breaking the silence. Lisa turned to him, surprised. We have to find something. She wouldn't have left that note for nothing. He nodded, but didn't respond. She could see the worry in his eyes as he navigated the traffic. They were heading into a world of shadows, a life that had once been bright with laughter and dreams. Could they really bring back the light? When they arrived, Lisa's heart sank. The building loomed in front of them, its peeling paint and cracked windows a testament to years gone by. They walked inside, the dim light of the lobby echoing their uncertainty, before climbing the stairs to Lily's old apartment on the 3rd floor. Are you ready? He whispered, his hand resting against the door. Lisa took a deep breath and nodded. As ready as I can be. The door creaked open, revealing the familiar chaos of Lily's life. It smelled of dust and old books, the air heavy with memories. Lisa stepped inside, feeling the ghosts of laughter and secrets swirl around her. Where do we even start? He asked, glancing around. Her piano, Lisa replied, almost instinctively moving toward the corner. The piano was still there, black and beautiful but silent, like a heart waiting to be awakened. She ran her fingers over the keys, remembering the way Lily used to fill the room with music. Let us check the sheet music. He started rummaging through the stacks of faded paper piled beside the piano. Lisa joined him, her fingers trembling with anticipation. Each note could be a clue, a hidden message. They sifted through the sheets, their breaths quickening as they uncovered a few familiar tunes. But then, buried beneath a collection of sonatas, something caught her eye. Wait, she said, pulling out a crumpled piece of paper. It was a handwritten note, the ink slightly faded but the message clear. For every door closed, a window opens. Look deeper, Lisa. What does that mean? He asked, scanning the note, brows furrowing. I don't know, but it feels like there's more, she answered, her heartbeat quickening. The directness of Lily's words hit her hard. It was a riddle wrapped in an invitation, urging Lisa to look beyond the obvious. While he flipped through more music, Lisa's mind raced. What door had Lily closed? And what window was meant to be opened? Perhaps it was about more than just music. There's something about this place, she said, glancing back at the walls. It feels like there are pieces everywhere. We just have to find them. As they continued searching, Lisa unearthed a box tucked in a corner of the room, covered with a layer of dust. She hesitated, her heart beating faster as she pulled it into the light. Do you think? He began, hope flickering in his voice. Lisa opened the box carefully, her breath hitching as she uncovered photographs, snapshots of their childhood, of moments they hadn't seen in years. And, deeper within, there was something shiny. A small, metal key rested against a stack of papers. I found it, she whispered, holding it up, the key glinting like a promise in the dim light. What does it open? He asked gravely, the thrill palpable in the air. I think it's the key to her past, Lisa murmured, feeling a rush of anticipation. But a shadow of dread danced in her chest. What lay behind the door they might unlock? Would it be the truth that would set them free, or would it shatter their memories into fragments? They exchanged a glance, the gravity of the moment sinking in. "We have to find out," he said firmly, and Lisa nodded, clutching the key tightly in her hand. As they stood in silence, ready to unravel the secrets of Lily's hidden life, Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that the real journey had only just begun. What had Lily locked away, and more importantly, would they be ready for what they uncovered? Lisa stood there, the key warm in her palm, and took a moment to absorb everything. The photographs stirred memories both sweet and bittersweet. Their laughter echoed in the chambers of her mind, a soundtrack now tainted with sadness. She had to believe that Lily was leading her to something important. "Do you think it could belong to one of the storage lockers?" he asked, looking at the key with a mix of hope and uncertainty. "Maybe, but where?" Lisa spun around the room, her eyes finally landing on an old wooden chest pushed against the wall. Its surface was worn and faded, the lock untouched for years. "What if it's that?" he suggested, stepping closer. As Lisa approached the chest, her heart raced. She knelt down, tracing her fingers along the edges. The wood felt rough, like it had weathered storms of time. Her fingers brushed against the lock, and she looked up at him, a silent question lingering between them. "Do you want me to do it?" he asked, sensing her hesitation. She nodded, biting her lip. The moment was electric, charged with potential. He inserted the key into the lock, and it fit perfectly. With a turn, the sound of metal grinding against metal echoed through the room. As he lifted the lid, dust filled the air, swirling like ghostly dancers. On the inside was a treasure trove of Lily's world. Old journals, trinkets from travels, and letters tied with fraying ribbons spoke of a life Lisa barely recognized. But what caught her eye was a significant envelope nestled in the corner. Its seal was still intact, the handwriting on the front unmistakably Lily's. "What is it?" he asked softly, as if afraid to disturb the reverence of the moment. "I don't know," Lisa breathed, her voice trembling. Gently, she reached for the envelope and pulled it out. She held it as if it were made of glass, fragile yet vital. "Open it," he urged. With a deep breath, she broke the seal and unfolded the letter inside. As her eyes scanned the words, confusion washed over her. "It's a letter to someone named James," she asks, explaining why she feels she needs to let him go. "Let him go?" he echoed. "Who is James?" Lisa's heart sank. The name sounded familiar, like a distant echo. She had to suppress the rise of anxiety swelling in her chest. "I don't know, but it must have been important to her." As she read on, phrases jumped out, each one more revealing than the last. Lily spoke about choices, love lost, and the burden of keeping secrets. Her words felt heavy, as if they carried decades of pain and regret. "Lisa," he said, prying more into her mind than the letter itself. "What's in there?" She mentions a life she had to abandon. There's a part about a family, a second chance with James. Each new line unraveled more of Lily's hidden life, revealing layers of complexity Lisa had never imagined. There's also something about an inheritance. His eyes widened. "What inheritance?" She skimmed down the letter, finding the passage that held the key to the mystery. She talks about a trust, something worth millions. And she says, "I need to free us from the legacy of pain and move on." The weight of the letter settled between them like a thick fog. "This changes everything," he whispered, his face pale. "And it gets worse," Lisa murmured, her heart thudding in her chest. "She mentions there's someone who wants to claim it. Someone I never knew about." "Who?" he asked, urgency slipping into his voice. "I don't know yet," Lisa said, the fear creeping back in. A chill ran down her spine as she pondered the implications of Lily's past and the shadow of this unknown person. They were no longer just searching for answers about their friend, they were stepping directly into a realm of danger and mystery. "What do we do now?" he asked, the question hanging in the air like a promise yet to be fulfilled. We need to find out who James is and what he means to this mess, she said, determination igniting within her. But first, we need to keep digging. There's so much more we need to know everything. As they stood surrounded by Lily's past, the tension shifted to a resolve, an urgency building within them. The journey was far from over, it was only just beginning, and the stakes were higher than ever. What secrets would they unlock next? And would they be ready for the truth that awaited them? With the letter still in her hands, the air around Lisa felt thick with unanswered questions. Each word unfurled a new tendril of uncertainty. I can't shake the feeling that there's more to Lily's story, she said, glancing at him. If James was so important to her, then why didn't she ever mention him? And who is this other person looking to claim the inheritance? His brow furrowed in thought. We need to find more clues. Maybe the journals can help us piece this together. Lisa nodded, setting the letter aside. Let us start with them. If she wrote about her feelings and experiences, maybe she mentions James in one of them. They began sorting through the pile of journals, their fingers running over the worn covers and brittle pages. Each one was filled with Lily's thoughts, sketches, and dreams. An old photograph slipped out from between the pages of one journal, a much younger Lily, smiling beside a man with dark hair and a broad smile. This must be him, Lisa said, her fingers gently brushing the corner of the faded picture. James. But why does she look so happy? He took the photograph, staring intently. She seems in love, Lisa. Maybe he's the missing piece of this puzzle. We need to know more about him. We can't let the past stay buried when it seems so tied to the present. Taking a deep breath, Lisa flipped open one of the journals. The first few entries spoke of mundane things, her day-to-day life, challenges at work, plans for trips, all the little moments that felt so ordinary. But as they progressed, they began to reveal a different tone. The words became more emotional, heartfelt, showcasing struggles that Lisa hadn't known about. This is heartbreaking, she whispered as they read snippets about Lily feeling torn between her family and the life she wanted. It's like she lived two lives. Look. He pointed to an entry written in a swirl of urgency. She writes about an upcoming decision regarding James, something that could change everything. What does it say? Lisa leaned in, their shoulders brushing together. It talks about fear. Fear of hurting those she loved. And there's a mention of a fight, followed by leaving town. Leaving everything behind. There it was, an explanation, a clue wrapped in raw emotion. But still, the shadows lurking around Lily's choices were thick, beguiling. What if the other person mentioned in the letter is somehow connected to her leaving? What if they wanted to claim what Lily felt she never had the right to? He proposed, glancing sideways at her, gauging her reaction. Then we need to dig deeper, Lisa said, her resolve hardening. We can't let any stone be unturned. We must find James and this unknown claim. There's so much at stake, not just for us but for Lily's memory, too. Every moment felt suffused with urgency as they made a plan to track down James and uncover the hidden truth about the inheritance that hung ominously over their heads. What if he doesn't want to be found? He asked, his tone suddenly serious. Then we persevere, she replied, her heart steadying. If Lily felt he was worth reaching out to, then we owe it to her to see this through. It's time for her story to be told. As they packed the journals, she felt a rush of excitement mixed with trepidation. Each step brought them closer to unveiling Lily's past, but the reality was daunting. Would they be ready to face whatever they might uncover? With one last look around the room that had held so much of Lily's history, Lisa felt the weight of expectation settle over her. They were on the brink of a revelation, one that could change everything. Let us go find James, she said resolutely. But as they stepped outside into the fading light, an unsettling thought crossed her mind. What if James had a secret of his own, one that could unravel everything they had just learned? The journey into Lily's past had begun, and with it, the shadows were only starting to deepen. The brisk evening air greeted them as Lisa and her companion stepped into the twilight. The warm glow of the porch lights bathed the front yard in a soft hue, but a chill ran down Lisa's spine. Where do we even start? He asked, looking out toward the empty road. Lisa took a deep breath, glancing down at the photo of Lily and James still clutched in her hand. I think we need to go to her old town. Maybe someone there remembers him. They might know where we can find him or what happened between them. He nodded, determination etched on his face. Let us do it. We'll drive there tonight if we have to. The prospect of diving into Lily's past pumped adrenaline through her veins. She felt the knot of uncertainty loosen, replaced with a sense of purpose. They climbed into the car and set off, the road stretching ahead like the chapters of Lily's life waiting to be unearthed. As they drove through winding roads and small towns, Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that with each mile, they were getting closer to something monumental. But what that something was, she couldn't quite grasp. They shared stories, laughter easing the tension, but every smile came back to the mystery of Lily. It was as if they were catching glimpses of a ghost, flickering in and out of view. Hours later, they pulled into a modest motel just outside Lily's hometown. The neon sign buzzed quietly, casting an eerie glow. We'll stay here for the night and head out in the morning to find James, Lisa suggested. After a few restless hours of sleep, anticipation pulled them from the warmth of the blankets. They slipped into casual clothes, their breath forming little clouds in the chilly morning air. First stop, the local diner. It sounds like a classic place to start asking questions, he said, the enthusiasm in his voice infectious. The diner was classic Americana red vinyl booths, chrome accents, and the aroma of fresh coffee filling the air. They settled into a booth, and Lisa took a moment to soak it all in. It feels like we're in a movie, she remarked. I sure hope it has a happy ending, he replied, grinning. As they sipped their coffee and chatted with the waitress, Lisa found herself scanning the room. Families gathered, friends laughed. It was a testament to everyday lives untouched by the drama pulling her in. Excuse me, she called out softly to the waitress. We're looking for someone who used to live around here. A man named James. He might have known Lily. Do you remember him? The waitress paused, her brow furrowing as she considered. James. I think I remember a guy like that. Always had a smile on his face, right? He used to come in here with a girl. Lily, was it? Lisa's heart raced. Yes. Do you know where he is now? Last I heard, he moved to the next town over after. The waitress hesitated, the weight of the word hanging in the air. After everything happened. After everything? Lisa pressed, her mind racing. The waitress glanced around, lowering her voice. There was a bad breakup. She left town, and he just vanished for a while. I think he got a job working construction and kept to himself. Do you know if he still lives there? The waitress shook her head. Sorry, I don't. But I could help you try to find him. As Lisa listened, a sense of hope surged, tangled with fear. A bad breakup? Had it been as devastating for James as it had seemed for Lily? Lisa's heart ached for them both, imagining the pain entwined in their choices. Can we get the address? He asked, leaning forward, invested. As Lisa took down the information, she felt the puzzle pieces shifting in her mind. This was more than just an inheritance, it was about closure, healing for a love story that never got a proper goodbye. Once they finished their meal, she looked up with renewed determination. Let us find him. But as they prepared to leave, her heart sank. What if James wasn't ready to open up? What if he had moved on, letting go of the past or holding onto it in ways they couldn't imagine? One question lingered, was uncovering Lily's story worth stirring the ghosts that had haunted them all? Each decision felt like treading on sacred ground. As they left the diner, the weight of the world pressed on Lisa's shoulders. This journey wasn't just about finding James, it was about understanding a love that might still echo in his heart. With trepidation superimposed by hope, they stepped back into the light, ready to confront whatever lay ahead. Would they uncover the truth, or would the shadows swallow them whole? The morning sun peeked through the clouds, casting a golden glow over the small town. Lisa and her companion hurried to the car, their breath leaving wispy trails in the crisp air. The address the waitress had given them was only a few miles away, but as they drove, nervous energy hummed between them. "You okay?" he asked, glancing her way. She forced a smile. "Yeah, just wondering how this is all going to play out." "We can handle whatever it is," he reassured her, the conviction in his voice steadying her racing heart. As they approached a modest house, tucked between two larger ones, Lisa could feel her palms dampen on the steering wheel. The paint was peeling, and the yard was half overgrown, but the house held an air of defiance. Someone had tried to cling to it despite the chaos of life. They parked on the side and stepped out. The quiet of the street surrounded them, interrupted only by a sporadic bird song. Lisa found herself staring at the house like it held all the secrets of the universe. She took a deep breath, calming the flutter in her chest, and walked up to the door. Her hand hovered above the worn wood but hesitated. This was it. "Do you think he'll want to talk to us?" she mused aloud. "Only one way to find out," he said before knocking firmly. The sound echoed in the stillness, raising the tension around them. Moments felt like hours, but finally, the door creaked open. A man stood before them, a bit disheveled, with dark curls framing his face. His eyes widened as he took them in, confusion and recognition blending in a surprising cocktail of emotions. "Can I help you?" he asked, his voice a mix of curiosity and caution. "James?" Lisa ventured, instinctively stepping forward. "Yes, that's me." "Who are you?" he replied, a hint of wariness creeping in. "My name is Lisa, and this is my friend. We're looking for you because of Lily, your daughter." At the mention of Lily's name, James's expression shifted. The color drained from his face, replaced by a complex emotion, grief threaded with a hint of hope. "Lily?" he echoed, almost breathlessly. "Yeah, we just found out about her past," Lisa continued, her heart pounding. "We wanted to understand what happened, what went wrong." He stepped back, almost instinctively, eyes darting to the ground as if searching for answers embedded in the worn floorboards. "I didn't think anyone would come looking for me, for her." A knot lodged in Lisa's throat. "We want to help you. We have questions, and we're hoping you might have some answers." For a fleeting moment, she feared he might slam the door, shutting them out, but instead, he pulled it wider. "You'd better come in, then." Inside, the house was dim, the curtains drawn tight against the light. Shadows loomed in corners, the air thick with stories left unspoken. They followed him into a small living room, filled with mismatched furniture and a faint odor of stale coffee. "Why now?" James questioned, leaning against the wall. "What do you want from me?" "We're here because Lily is gone, and you deserve to know about the life she left behind," Lisa replied, her voice soft but steady. "We were handling her estate." James's right hand clenched into a fist, the truth hitting him like a physical blow. "Estate? What kind of estate?" $35 million, her friend interjected, unable to hold back any longer. The room went silent as the words sunk in. James's face twisted with emotions, disbelief, anger, and maybe even betrayal flickered across his features. He looked at Lisa, vulnerable and lost. "Why does it matter now? What would I do with that money?" Lisa's heart broke for him, the pain over Lily's absence evident in his eyes. "Because it's about more than the money. It's about her legacy, closure, and the family that was left behind." "But she left me," he replied, his voice cracking. "Why should I get anything from her now?" The question hung in the air, heavy with the weight of years gone by. Lisa felt her own heartache echoing within him, the ache of lost connections and buried histories. "James," she started, "sometimes closure comes in unexpected forms. And sometimes, the chance to forgive is waiting just around the corner. We can't change the past, but we can confront it." He stood still, a mix of emotions painting across his face as he considered her words. What came next was uncertain, filled with the weight of possibilities. Could they truly bridge the gap that time had carved between them, or would James's hesitation keep them all in the dark? As tension filled the room, the silence broke with heavy breaths. Lisa didn't know if she had reached him or created even more distance. "Can we talk?" he finally asked, hope shimmering in his eyes. Lisa nodded. It was a small step, but it was a step nonetheless. But what would they uncover about Lily's past, and would James be willing to face what had once torn them apart? Lisa felt the air thick with anticipation, her heart beating as she settled cautiously onto the tattered couch. James stood across from her, an embodiment of lost time and buried sorrow. "We really want to understand what happened between you and Lily," she began, her voice steady yet gentle. "The legacy she left behind is significant, and we owe it to her to honor her memory." James closed his eyes, taking a deep breath as if preparing to dive into a turbulent sea of memories. "Lily and we had something special. But we were young, so caught up in our dreams." He paused, his brow furrowing. "Then life happened. We had a fight, and she left town before I could make things right. I didn't even get to say goodbye." Tears pricked the corners of Lisa's eyes. She could feel the ache in his voice, an echo of the void left by Lily's absence. She leaned forward, daring to ask the question weighing on them. "Did you know about the inheritance?" He glanced at her sharply, surprise dancing in his eyes. "Inheritance? What are you talking about?" "Her grandfather left her $35 million money intended for her future," she explained. "But more than that, we believe it might hold secrets about your relationship." James ran a hand through his hair, clearly wrestling with conflicting emotions. "I never wanted money from her. If she had made it with or without me, I'd have been proud. But I could stood by her." "Then let us piece it together," her friend urged, his voice filled with determination. "Maybe by understanding the past, you'll find where you fit in the future. For her memory and for you." The tension in the room shifted as James's walls began to lower. "I never thought I'd have another chance." "After everything, let us help," Lisa insisted. "But you'll need to be honest. We can't change the past, but we can try to mend its echoes." James took a deep breath, the fixer of old wounds seemed to ignite within him. "There was a family I never told Lily about. I was scared of what that would mean for us. I didn't want to drag her into my mistakes." "James, Lily deserved to know. She always spoke about wanting a family and a future filled with love." Lisa's voice was soft, but firm. "If we're going to honor her, we need to be real about this." "Okay." He nodded slowly, squeezing his eyes shut as if prying loose old memories. "There was a girl before Lily. I was foolish. I didn't realize what I had until it was too late. When I got her pregnant, everything fell apart. Lily became that fresh start I thought I needed. I loved her, still do. But I was scared of messing it all up again." "And instead, you did nothing, James," Lisa said gently. "You left her to walk alone through life. Think of all the precious moments you lost. It's time to stop running." He swallowed hard, visibly shaken. "I never meant to hurt her. I was so lost." "Then let us find out what Lily would be wanted for both of you," her friend suggested, coaxing him gently. "For her future and for yours." New resolve filled James's voice. "Let us dive into it. I need to know. I owe it to her." As they shared stories and memories, a tapestry of Lily's life began to weave itself. They laughed, they cried, and together they faced the complexities of love and loss. The conversation flowed, weaving through memories old and new, each word a step toward healing. "I can't change the past," he said finally, the light of hope flickering in his eyes. "But if there's a chance to honor Lily's memory, then I want to take that. She deserved so much more." Lisa nodded, feeling the pieces of their collective grief begin to shift. Something solid was forming out of the chaos. And perhaps the inheritance isn't just about money, perhaps it's about the lessons we learn as we move forward. As they sat there, the weight of lost time giving way to new possibilities, Lisa felt her heart fill with something she thought she'd lost: hope. Perhaps they could forge a new path together, one filled with understanding and forgiveness, one that honored Lily in every possible way. Let us figure out Lily's vision for this, her friend offered. There's so much more ahead, and we can make it meaningful. James nodded, a glimmer of determination lighting his features. Thank you for giving me this chance. With that, the door swung open to new beginnings, a radiant path carved by love, forgiveness, and a desire to honor the past. Together, they would navigate the complexities of their shared history, embracing the legacy of a beautiful soul in a world transformed once more by connection. As they stepped into the light together, the shadows of doubt began to recede, leaving room for warmth, laughter, and the most sacred of memories, the legacy of Lily that would forever shine brightly in each of their hearts. This is the time to take a stand. Don't wait one more second. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support this uplifting journey. Comment below with your thoughts about this powerful ending. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You need to be part of this.